Yeah.
As a true Dominican, I really think we could make it. But as a people, we have to learn to commit. Journey ahead will never be smooth and sweet. But as an ambitious nation, we have to be upbeat. I know we have done it before, so we can do it again. All depend we maintain, but pride we have to maintain in order to create a better world. Every living soul has to play their role. We have an opportunity to change things around, an opportunity to change things, an opportunity to make Dominica strong. We have an opportunity to change things around, an opportunity to change things, an opportunity to make Dominica strong. We got to stamp out the devil, stamp them out, stamp out all evil, jealousy, not by me, certainly. We got to stamp out greediness, stamp them out, stamp out wickedness, jealousy, not by me, certainly. Tomorrow is the first day. The rest of our lives, let's make tomorrow the first day of the rest of our life. We have an opportunity to change things around, an opportunity to change things, an opportunity to make our country strong. Whoa. Change. Whoa. I remember the love and unity that we once shared. Starting from the home, the children would be prepared. Goodness was a daily part of our living. This society would be part of our children upbringing. We used to eat everything we grow and grow everything we eat. But smiling faces would glow and the people will real the streets. We need to go back to where we were. Otherwise we'll witness things we never seen before. Opportunity to change things around, an opportunity to change things, an opportunity to make Dominica strong. We have an opportunity to change things around, an opportunity to change things, an opportunity to make Dominica strong. We got to stamp out the ugly, stamp them out, stamp out cruelty, jealousy, not by we, certainly. We got to fight hypocrisy, or conspiracy, jealousy, not by we, certainly. Tomorrow is the first day of the rest of our lives. Let's make tomorrow the first day of the rest of our lives. We have an opportunity to change things around.
Yes, indeed, folks, an opportunity to change things around, change our Dominica around. It's already 5 minutes past 6 o'clock in Dominica and our Eastern Caribbean space. Welcome to the program Civic Vibes each and every Sunday from just about that time. Folks, it is the second day of February 2025 and welcome to Civic Vibes. The name of the program is Civic Vibes. All of you who already locked onto that platform, thank you very much. Those of you on YouTube, those of you on Facebook, this program is streamed live on these platforms. Thank you very much, as I say, each and every time for your eyes and ears. Folks, indeed, we're going to have a very interesting, I must say, conversation this evening with a very formidable brother, I must say, who, from Dominica, but living out there for some time. And so he's none other than Mr. Jefferson Winston. We know him as Sharu in Dominica. So those of you who know Sharu very well, then you know the type of brother that you will be dealing with in terms of his utterances in just a bit. So yes, the conversation promises to be surrounded rather around our country, Dominica. Yes, 20 years, after 20 years, we're asking that all-important question: is the Dominican dream still achievable in our beloved country, Dominica? That is the gist of the conversation we're going to have with our brother Sharu. I know the brother loves his country very dearly, and so whatever he says here to us this evening will be geared at uplifting his country / our country as a people. So, folks, thank you very much. Make yourself feel very, very comfortable at this time, because you know how we drop it right here when the conversation starts. Then you'd really and truly don't want to miss a word. And so, yes, this evening, folks, Alvin Thomas, the host of this program, will either be absent or will be late. Alvin Thomas, I saw him last night at the Calypso quarterfinals in Dominica. So
Wow.
Alvin is not over there. Alvin is here in Dominica. And so, he's not in his natural habitat, as it were. So, we will excuse him this evening if and truly he shows up late here. But folks, we are here and we're ready to go. Thank you very much, the Civic Vibes team, for each and every production of these programs that we have on here. Folks, without saying much more from my end, let me just move across to the guests for this evening program and say a special good evening to you, Brother Jefferson Winston. How are you, brother?
Man, I'm blessed, Mr. Loftus Duran. How are you? I'm happy, man. It's another time. We're still on the same direction to see if we can get a better Dominica where we can see that the generation to come and the younger youth can see the level of see a level of success. So I want them to see that there is work, there's other ways, there should be ways that they should be able to achieve, and then we've had determination that it could have good results. You see, so that is a thing that haven't been happening for the past 20 years back home. And I wonder what is our gross domestic product right now, because it is really tough. And with all the sometimes I get calls from young persons that really want to do stuff, asking ways to get things done. And it hurts my heart and my feeling to know that there are young generation that do not have a direction. They just don't have a direction. And people we put into office, excuse me, that's supposed to be a leader, supposed to be a lead, supposed to open avenues so that a nation, a young population, young persons, young people could see direction. We haven't had that in the past 20 years. And while I have stayed back and listened, because I'm so involved in everything that go on back home, that it hurts to see that the persons we gave a job to help a population have helped only themselves, and there's nothing to show in the past 20 years. And I want to start just bold because I'm straight to the point. And then so that is, I'm happy we're going to have that conversation tonight or this afternoon, and let's see where it leads.
Yes, indeed. We will be seeing where it leads for sure. Folks, again, pleasant good evening to all of you who are on with us at this time. What I beseech you at this time is to share that live information, make someone know that the program Civic Vibes, it is on, and you guys can participate when we open up those lines sometime at the top of the hour. That is 7 o'clock this evening. Thank you very, very much indeed. Mr.
Sharo is fine, sir.
Sharo, yes, let me just say again, I want to thank you on behalf of, the Civic Vibes team for taking time off your Sunday and coming to have this cordial conversation with us as Dominicans, your fellow men, as it were. I know you're a very passionate brother about your country. Sharo, but just before we go there in terms of national issues that you will be touching on, you're living out there. We just had the re-election, as it were, for another 4 years, President Donald John Trump. Your thoughts, brother, as we sort of break the ice, getting the conversation on stream here.
Well, my brother, honestly, the other day I was speaking to some persons I work with, and we were saying that I think Mr. Trump have to analyze more of his decision, because I will tell you something, Loftus. 90, okay, let's say 80%, and I'm just going to go straight to a point.
Yeah.
80% of people here that are undocumented, they are mostly the ones that are doing the jobs that the American people don't want to do, bro. They cannot do it. They did not grow up that way. Most persons take their mothers, their grandmothers, they put them in nursing homes. They don't have time. And I was saying to my friends, when you get rid of all these people, who gonna clean these senior citizens? You know,
Mhm.
we're looking at the farming, even the farming issue. Right here in Florida, persons scared to even go to the farm, and they're the ones who cultivate in the soil, the crops and stuff, So it's he's doing one thing, but he have to think. Right now he's tackling Canada, Mexico, he's tackling he say he won Gulf Panama. So it's a lot of things I realize soon I think it's really scary, although I don't sit in his position and I've never been involved into the affairs directly when come for the government scene, but just as a person working here and being here and getting the feedback, I think we're gonna have a economic war, if I should say that. Does that make sense to you?
Well, yeah, based on me following things how they're unfolding, I tend to agree with you, brother. There's
Yes, we're gonna
certainly
have an
going to be
economic war, and then what's gonna
a trade
happen
off.
is I said that on number one, Canada, you put 25% of tariff on Canada, and Canada is also have a major part playing with America on a whole when come for exchange of goods and commodities. You know what I'm saying? So it's just really, I don't know. I really don't know, because you can put sanction on a country. The country can also put sanction on us in America. So that what's gonna happen? The cost of petrol gonna go up, food gonna go up. There already is shortage for eggs and stuff around. So a lot of things can happen out of this kind of harsh measures he's trying to put on other islands. Because I feel like listening to him, I feel like he think that the other nations they need him and he don't need them. So I think I think it can reach to a point where, we could see some real tough times in America, bro. Tough times. Times I've never been like before. But I could be wrong, because, it's called a modern nation. So let's see.
I know. Yeah, we're talking about 10% tariff on China, 25% on Canada
Canada,
and other countries.
Mexico.
And basically he's basically doing what he said during the campaign, straight up, that he would do if he got reelected. How do you put in perspective now? Trump said that on the campaign trail, and he got this overwhelming majority of support in terms of voters, the American people by and large voting for him to basically give him that sort of leverage to unleash some of his plans that he voiced during the campaign.
You see, Loftus, I believe if people listen to the message and they start putting their personal feelings away, that result will not have been. You see, the thing about it is that we all know America, and America is. I mean, I don't want to. I'm a citizen,
Mhm.
so I don't want to come and be so ridiculed on a place that I really live and I'm trying to to survive. But there's a lot that goes on, and mental slavery is a funny thing, as Bob Marley say. You know what I'm saying? So the other thing is that I think if people had really listened and analyzed the measures he will come with, and they had put country first and forget the personal, if I should say, personal feelings about, I think we'd have different results. Because right now, it's just going to be a complicated situation, and I pray to God that things can get better, because he won. He showed that he could win, and they did give him the mandate. They gave him the mandate to do what he have to do, but he start on a boom, bro. Yeah, he's like that time bomb clicking, click, 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 real fast, bro. I
What
mean,
about the well, you spoke about you touched on the deportation issue. How far an effect do you think that would have even on the American economy itself? You touched on
bro,
it a
that's
little
gonna
bit.
have a major impact on the economy, bro. It's gonna. There's no two ways about it. It's gonna. Number one, the workforce, the workforce gonna drop, because you need laborers, you need people that gonna toil the soil, you need people that gonna that gonna harvest the crops. You need, as I said, you need persons to take care of the senior citizens. You need people to do the jobs that the American people don't like to do. So obviously it's going to have a negative impact because number one, production will drop. You understand? Your productivity gonna drop because you don't have enough manpower to supply. Okay, with productivity dropping, you cannot supply. So obviously, gonna have a negative impact on the economy. It will have, but again, it's America, as I say. I just can also look at it on an outside scale as a citizen.
Yeah, looking at it now from Trump's or his supporters' end in terms of some of the things that he has already executed in terms of his power as president. He keeps saying, and his base keeps saying, that it is to protect the American citizens. It is to sort of make America safe again. It is to help boost the economy. It is to sort of solidify things for the American people. How would you now justify his utterances versus the reality?
You see, America is a place that have developed through immigrants, through people coming in and develop since the time of, it's not a place that everybody in America is a stranger to the land other than the Indians. You understand?
Yeah.
We all have been from another land and came to America for greener pastures. Okay. Now there are some like Trump and all the others who are benefit, and America have made them who they are. And I feel that in their heart they should understand there are always opportunities, because that's what it is. America was from since the 1800s. America is always that way. That's why right now you find it trying to block many of the measures it's trying to bring. So I kind of lost trend on the question. Go back to the question you asked me.
Basically, I asked you the situation of his base supporting that move by talking about he's trying to strengthen the economy in their interest. So that's that conversation, that line of reasoning versus the reality that you're talking about. I was just trying to make the comparison.
Who is going to strengthen the economy? The economy strengthening is for the rich man. It's not for the underprivileged person. Okay, that is the other thing. You see, when I don't see how he's going to make it happen. Although they are brilliant minds, they are businessmen, they have a lot of different ideas and strategies. So I only have to wait still, because he just have a few days in. So I would like to see in the next 6 months. Let's see what happening with the whole his measures, and his see how we have to analyze what happening still, because I can't jump and say, oh, it's not going to work, because as I said, I'm just on the outside looking in as a citizen. But if they have a good strategy, a good plan, and he has some real good, some real intelligent persons around him, like Musk, I think the one for Amazon and these guys. So let's see what they're bringing forward, but for now, I cannot really say there's results. I can't say there won't be results. But all I can see is that the approach so far is a very negative approach, where I think we will decline.
Yeah,
Did
indeed.
that answer your question?
Yeah, sure. A comment coming in here from Dorival Drago. Listen to the conversation. He said here, Canada has already yes, retaliated.
Yes.
47 as a President Trump is a dual. He said tough times ahead for the next 4 years. Yes. The voters got conned, in my opinion. That is Mr. Drago's opinion here. Adelaide Paul is writing a backlash. He sees that backlash is on the way in terms of Trump's doings thus far. What about this situation, really, male and female aspect of it? He said, in America, it's just male and female. Your thought on it?
Right now, you'll make me to the pastor or preacher, man.
No, we're just touching on some.
I don't pay if you. We cool, man. We cool. We conversing, man. That cool. Well, you see, I'm all about male and a female. That's my own perspective. I believe in God created a man and a woman. But again, we have to understand their difference. To everybody's their own, if you understand what I'm saying. So again, I'm not too sure, but I believe that that is also his opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, but he's the head of the place right now. He's in charge. He said America is about a man and a woman. I support a man and a woman, but everyone to their own. So it's up to the legislation, them people in the White House to decide how they're going to deal with that. But I believe everybody should have a free. Everybody should be able to be free to express who they are, as long as we respect each other. You know, I'll be honest with you. I think it's also it's difficult for someone to be in a particular habit and then we try because of our own personal opinion to think that we can tell them what to do. We can give an advice. You understand? So I think it's a little harder to just come and just think you could just change certain things that the other administration put in place because it's someone right. You get what I'm saying, Mr. Loftus?
Yeah.
But then, for me personally, I believe that God created a man and a woman, but everyone to their own, as long as everyone respect each other.
Yeah, true. So in a nutshell, brother Shari, you're saying that you're seeing some rocky days ahead.
It's going to be very tough in America. It have been tough in America. Let me tell you something, Loftus. America is not a bed of roses, yeah? People think when you go in America, everything is sliding on gold. We have cars that using just solar system and stuff. America is a very, 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 it's difficult. You see, America maybe in 40, 60 years ago was a different America to the America right now. Especially from someone living in a small island and moving up here. You have to be very strong, very ambitious, and make up your mind, determination, then you could see some success after a period of time. You see, I think a lot of us would be better back home, especially with our productive minds, our creativity, our ambition. I think we had the right venue back home. I think we would maybe still have connections with America, but I believe more of our resources and our skills will be back home, you know? That's where I feel we're lacking a lot. So it is what it is. Let's see what's going to take place. It's still early because sometimes people can change their decisions because they could see, it's going down a negative, incline. Let's bring it back up. Because I think for my correction, I believe England one time was doing that, came with a policy where they would just, I think they did that, and I think the economy really dropped bad because productivity dropped so bad that they had to even invite persons back in to continue production. So I'm still subjected to correction, but I believe England had taken an approach similar to that. The thing too is that it's not just President Trump that is deporting persons. All presidents did that before, but it's just that he came with a strong kind of like
strong hand mentality.
Yeah, some kind of, I would say more a dictator kind of approach, But I think if he put the persons that in position to do what they have to do and he give his orders, I think his orders will be fulfilled. But he just a kind of person that does a more, But all of them deport people. Obama, that's a black man, deported a lot of persons back to different places, So it is just what it is. The most we can say is let's wait and see what happened because he just came in. I like to see what happened the first 90 days and,
Yeah,
it's going to be tough. If it continues, it's going to be tough. We might be coming back home, bro. So you have land, I can plant some food or something, bro.
Well, I have that. The Chinese are slowly taking over, but, I'll reserve.
That's another thing about the Chinese. I think without tripping, not going away from the topic we're going to have, though. But that's another thing with the Chinese. I find America is not putting so much attention to, especially surrounding the same America, with the Caribbean chain and all them other stuff. I believe the Chinese, if America would have just put more into their neighbors, I believe, we could have a real better result because I'm not seeing nothing productive for the native from the Chinese, and I don't think most of Caribbean personnel people would want to have a future in China. I think more persons want to come to maybe to the Americas and to them places to create their skills, their development, and maybe return home to contribute. But at the end of the day, we just have to see what we have to see. The other day, I was even talking about St. Thomas, St. John's, and more of the American territories. Not even there, they are putting so much emphasis into main development. It's like it's just there, you know, compared to how France is putting so much into Guadeloupe and Martinique and places, you know.
Yeah. So what I'm getting from you, brother, is that you're saying basically that you believe that America is supposed to be investing much more in terms of its neighbors, the Caribbean countries, so that China now doesn't see that loophole and take that opportunity to
what China is doing. China is surrounding America. China, we give China that. China is very brilliant. What they do, the more they spread their nation, their native, is the more economic growth they're going to have. Because obviously they're all about, you know, you're going to continue. And one time they can just block off America and use all the, I mean, the Caribbean has millions of people, you know. Caribbean is a niche market. Caribbean have people. We everything we import is from out there. So think about it, you know, it's the same thing.
All right, brother Sharu, final question. It's the bottom of the all already. It's whole time flies. The final question to you, side. I just want to get your honest, article answer response to that question. Do you think that the America that you're living in today, Sharu, it is very welcoming to the Black people in particular? And I just want to stick to us as a Black people. Having looked at the gains made in the 60s, 70s, and even prior by some of these, you know, quote unquote freedom fighters, where racism is concerned.
I try not to get into that previously in the conversation with you. If you had realized it while I spoke, I kind of gift out with it. I'll tell you, America have a lot of racism still, bro. A lot. There's no two doubts about it. There are persons. And not just racism to say, oh, it's just because of the color of my skin, you know. Even even on the work, you know, in the industry, different work field, because of even on Caribbean people, we as Caribbean people are so, our work ethics is so great, you know. Because I'll tell you something, Caribbean people know how to work, they know how to multitask, they know how to get things done. You know, you come to them other industry, for instance, a thing break on a car, you have to call someone in a different department to come pick up 2 pieces of glass and wipe that. You know, Caribbean man, they will just take a rag, get it done, boom. So all this stuff come to. America have a lot of hurdles that is against a Black man. You know, but again, it's still like you have to be wise to work around it. But there is racism in America, and there's no two doubts about it. Anybody want to say no? They you know, there are a lot of persons who are really loving. There are a lot of persons, you know, really our own color is also against our own, you know, if you understand what I'm saying. So it's a lot going on. There is racism in America. There's no two doubts about it. Does that answer your question, Mr. Professor?
Well, my brother, well, yeah. I normally like to you know, see if I can flush some stuff out, but you know, you answer the question to the best of your ability, and I agree that fine enough.
I could answer it better, you know, but sometimes you know, you have to, you know.
I know, I understand.
Yeah.
You have to do something. Let's take a little break, Shaw. We're going to start the conversation, our local issues in Dominica in just a bit. Let's take a little break, play that song from our brother, Nasir Fontaine, entitled Vain Thoughts. Take a listen, folks. We'll be right back in just a bit. Let's play this one, Nasir Fontaine, Vain Thoughts.
Confusion, in a solution, for the headed to destruction. Lord, trapped in the
illusion, he said.
With their minds full of confusion.
With their mind full of confusion.
Seeking for solution. Man, they're headed to destruction. Every day they like the wax that is burnt at the bottom of fire.
Folks, it is 6:30 in Dominica, and you're listening and watching the Civic Vibes program. We're here talking to our brother, Mr. Jefferson Winston, aka Sharu. We just touched on some international matters, huh? Before we are now getting set to go into the meat of our conversation, as it were, about our country, Dominica.
Where their heads full of confusion.
The numbers to call into the program sometime later when we open up those lines at 7 o'clock, they are scrolling or they're on your screen as we speak.
Trapped in their illusion, where their minds full of confusion.
I just got word from Mr. Alvin Thomas that unfortunately he will not be in this evening.
For the destruction.
As he's taking a little vacation, huh? Alvin Thomas, good evening to you, my brother. Brother Nasio Fontaine, good evening to you and family.
There are the seas that are cast upon stony place.
Also, all of you who made it to the semi-finals Rio Calypso competition, congratulations indeed. 20 of you, yes, 20.
There I shall see.
Before the conversation ends tonight with Brother Sharu, we may just touch on the elimination competition held last night in Dominica. Again, congratulations to all of you made it to the semi-finals. Job well done so far. Those of you who did not make it, next year, yes, there is another opportunity. So all those mourning at this time, it's a sick one, a loved one that has passed.
Like the children that
whatever your ailment is at this time, we from the Civic Vibes will empathize with you and sympathize with you at this time.
To find you way back home. Hard to know. They like the wax that is begging before the fire. They seek not the ways of truth, but the doctrines of the scribes and Pharisees. Yeah.
Seek not the doctrines of the scribes and the Pharisees. A powerful line right there.
Seeking for solution, for the headed to destruction.
All right, folks, it is 6:35 in Dominica. Let's get back to Mr. Sharu here as we must continue with the conversation in the interest of time. Brother Sharu, we spoke briefly this week, and the conversation that we are now going to start in earnestly is surrounding our country, Dominica. Just to set the platform, as it were, before we pitch. We have on our back still a government took the reins of power in this country from the year 2000. We're in 2025. And the Dominica Labour Party took over the reins of power with Mr. Rosie Douglas in 2000. Rosie Douglas unfortunately passed very, very soon after. Pierre Charles took over. He too passed soon after. So on the heels of losing two prime ministers of the real Dominica Labour Party, we came now and we still have Mr. Roosevelt Skerrit heading what is still called the Dominica Labour Party. After 25 years in power in Dominica, Sharu, you as a Dominican, how would you want to, sort of coin where we have been in terms of the governance of Dominica after 25 years? Are you there? You're muted. You're muted. Yes.
Loftus, honestly, it's ridiculous what we as a people have accepted, I knew a Dominica when I was home where persons would stand for their rights and persons would stand for what was, what was important to them for the survival. And now I've seen after 25 years that we as a people have no sense of purpose.
Sorry, Sharu. Let me just make a correction here. I think I said the eliminations. I think I wanted to say the quarterfinals here last night. Thank you very much for the person who just pointed out that correction. Thank you very much. Brother Sharu, my apology.
I think we have lost what happened for the past 25 years. I think we as a people have settled for less, while the people we put in position have settled for more. We have to accept it for what it is. And it's not against any particular individuals. It's about individuals that we trusted. We gave a mandate. We had confidence in that we thought that would make a country, would make a people see success in a country where they feel proud to stand firm, especially 25 years ago, the kind of value, the kind of respect that this country had internationally and around the region. So what have happened right now is that because of our mindset, and I think we as a people is greedy. We greedy. We settle for any small thing because it is free. You see, we right now, and I mentioned it many years ago. Right now, this is 25 years. So the child that was 1 year is now 26 years. The child that wasn't even born is 25 years from today. So what happened is that that generation, and it's a cycle, it's mental slavery, it's a psychology, because that generation of young persons only know that kind of politics, that kind of leadership, that kind of environment, because they think it's, oh, I could sit at home and I could get a $50 and that make my day. They don't worry about tomorrow. When tomorrow comes, they think what they could get. So that is what happened to the country for the past 25 years, is that persons that's supposed to stand firm and want to see progress, want to work, want to see want success, and understand there is an avenue so that they could grow as individuals to become young men and women, and the future of tomorrow for this place have just been laid back. So we have a whole poor, low level politics that is not a politics. And I'm not trying to be personal, because it's all about love for country. And when we speak, I don't care if it was my mother that was sitting in a position, or if it was my father, I'm saying straight as it is. We have a poor, lazy political movements that lead the country back home. Does that make sense to you, sir? You want to hear me clearly?
I'm hearing you clear. I'm following your every word. Okay. Yes.
All right. So now, because of the generation now, because 25 years ago, the adult that was 50 years, is 75. Now, either he is there or he passed away. So we have persons within that range that knew what it was to work to achieve and see success, have left to went beyond. So you find we have a decline on that population of persons that knew what was value, and what was value to elect persons that would bring results. You see, we have people now in position, and they don't care about bringing results. They care about having a nation where they would like them by just giving them something small. So we settle for small. Instead, we as people should settle for big. So that generation settled for small. Those that would settle for greater things are more the elderlies. Some of them went beyond and stuff. So we haven't seen anything. I cannot say anything or any results of achievement that I can say in 25 years that Dominica have improved, or Dominicans have improved in their daily lives. If that should be the cause of your question.
Yeah. Sharu, let me just see if I could chime in here to sort of, extract certain things from you based on where we want the conversation to go this evening. Okay. Every country, Sharu, needs to open up avenues for its people, especially the young people, in that every young person of every nation, every country, there's supposed to be some dream, some aspiration, some sort of hope, some sort of looking forward to the future, that future being bright. And you being a national of a country, as I said before, your country is supposed to say, you know how it is. That is what I can offer you, you being a Dominican. That is what I can offer you, you being an Antiguan. That is what I can offer you, you being a Bajan. And so it is that dream now. Is there still a Dominican dream, Shar? You grew up in Dominica as a young man. Did you have any dreams? Did you have any aspirations as to, Sharu by 40, 50? Let's go from there in terms of having people understand.
Yes. That's where I'm coming through. That's why I said to you, we have a generation that settled for less. You see, that was trying to bring back the generation of before, under the original Labour Party, the Freedom Party, the United Workers Party, was a generation of young, vibrant person that wanted results, because they had a goal they wanted to achieve. They wanted to achieve. But that generation now don't care about working to achieve. So you see,
now, do you blame that generation, Shar? Because you said before.
That's what I'm coming to. When you have a generation that don't care, it's like whatever you give to them, they accept it. They don't care because they're not going to put policies in place because of there's no urgency. There's no determination from a populace that want to see results. Look at the simple things like electoral reform, or the basic stuff you all have been advocating for. You all hardly get a group of persons who really say, you know what, that's for my future. The children that are 25 years and those that were 10 years, that's 35. So we're talking about the populace from 18 years to 35 to 40 years. These are the ones that are supposed to be vibrant, that should demand results. They should demand what they want. They should demand a country where they can see growth. They don't do that. So you see, so it is like, okay, you're not forcing me to do what I'm supposed to do as a leader. Why should I worry and just give you what you want? If you get the point of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
See, so if that generation now do not care about what they receive, they do not care about their life, they don't have value for living, the leader not going to have to stand up, because when you all had called for assistance or for support, when you all want to prove that what you all are doing is for a better country, is for better people, is for the kids, if you all could pull at least those that from, say 5 to 2,000 persons that within the age from 18 to 40, 45, he would have to ask himself a question. He would have to say, that generation, that is the generation of upcoming young persons and the people who want a future, are demanding questions and answers. He would have to step up. So the generation that's supposed to do that is laid back because they settled for less. So 25 years from past 25 years, we have nothing to show. So Dominica have nothing to invite the younger generation to say, okay, we're going to do this and we're going to achieve. Look at this. A lot of money came in. Look at our agricultural industry. Agriculture should be the main focus for any government in the history of Dominica. There's nothing else a government can do than to invest money into agriculture and to agro-processing and to exports. That's our goal. That's our niche market. Land. We have fertile soil where we get good products, and we have water which we can also export. Any government that do not go down to that line, whether they're selling passport, but they not go down to that line, do not have a people in their mind. You see, I said the other day that, and I don't blame the Prime Minister and his few fellows, because at the end of the day, we cause them to be who they are. You see, we make people. You see, if you have a mother or you have a father and he is violent all the time, or he's not doing what is right, you kind of adapt to certain of his behavior. But if you have a father that sees he's being naughty, but you as a son can say, Daddy, you're being wrong. I'm standing for my mother. I'm standing for you to do better. He realized you're just dealing with my mother. He got to deal with me. So at the end of the day, it's something, let's use that, way, that if we as a people realize the leader of the country is not producing, he's not productive to a nation, we should stand. Have you ever seen anyone stand to say we're going to do change other than the groups and entities that speak?
Sharu, I agree with you 100 and more percent. I agree with you. You're on the ball. A point I want to bring home to you now, in defense of the young people that you spoke of, is that somebody cannot give what they don't have. Somebody cannot give what they didn't get. And so you said it rightly, where you said 25 years of this regime, the young people, that is all what they know. And so if they were not exposed to something different, then that is all what they know. It is the handout mentality. It is the give me mentality. It is the thank you mentality. And so I'm asking you now, do you think that some of that blame that you apportion into the young people needs now to be apportioned as well to some of our elders who knew the way that Dominica was, who knew the struggle, who, quote unquote, were not that greedy, who were not selfish, But now, because of whatever, they have cowered. They have sort of caved in, and they are now subjecting the country now with its young people to that kind of brutality.
Mr. Loftus, I remember I knew Dominica was declining as a small business person back home. And I remember trying to organize a small business association to see if we could grow strength because, as a team, you're stronger than an individual. Okay. I will tell you something, and we have to look at the history of let's use the prime minister because he's the leader of the country for the past few elections. We had Crazy T, who was very vocal. Crazy T, and I'm just coming to your point, so I want you to listen to me carefully
Sure,
to
go on,
understand
go on,
and
go
answer
on.
what you say. We had Crazy T was with UWP, but we had Timothy was with UWP. I think the resources went into campaign and stuff, but if you look, they all went to the Labour Party because come on. He took Timothy. I remember once Timothy came to my shop and said, "Hey, Shari, what do you think about crossing the other side?" Because I was a young person back home that had a lot of confidence. Are you there? A lot of confidence with Mr. Julius Timothy because I personally wanted Julius Timothy to be the Prime Minister of Dominica because I think that man, when come for numbers, when come for producing creativity, his ambition, he could have bring Dominica to a different level because he was a brilliant businessman. Brilliant businessman, Mr. Timothy. You see, so when Tim come and said, you know what, Jaru, I'm going to go across the other side. I said, Tim, but you're not going to be a prime minister no more, man. But you see, these people had to do that because, you see, their resources was declining, just like this smaller business. This smaller business had dropped so low that those in the middle class or those that think they were rich had to join that cabal. You see, so the grid start from there. And now the prime minister is brilliant. What he did, he keep Crescity quiet. Because Crescity was the only man that take a prime minister head and put on a donkey. When you world you see a man take a prime minister head and put on a body of a donkey and have it all about. So he made Crescity because Crescity could cause a distraction to the direction that he was going. That is the prime minister and his crew. Then he took Charles Savre. Charles Savre is another man. The people know. The people of a little younger and old. That is the man we knew. Charles Savre was in the Freedom Party. Charles Savre was the one that when he speak, you listen. So what he did now, he took Charles Savre and he puts Charles Savre on his side. Come on. Lofty, if you want the radio station there now, and I open a radio station and I say, Lofty, I want you to be the manager. How much you owe in the bank? Lofty, here's $400,000. Pay this. And you'll be the manager of that. I give you $15,000 a month. It's very attractive for someone. Someone have to have strong integrity, strong discipline to decide, I'm not bringing down my values for money. And we know the economy back home. These are business people that got, Scarrett is smart. He took Charles Savre. Then we had Julius Timothy, which was considered the wizard. And just listen to me, bro. Then he had Rose North. He took Julius. He took Charles Savre. All the persons that could really create a following. Does that make sense to you, bro?
I'm listening. I'm following you, Sharu, very
all
intently.
All those persons that could create a following, all those people who could advocate, who were strong speakers, even if you did not like them in person, their person, their look or their appearance, but when they speak, they cause there's some people when they speak they bring things forward. They are leaders, they are born leaders, so they can create a distraction to what someone else wants to accomplish. So all those persons that could have been the people to help the elderlies who would have helped the younger generation now that only know that kind of politics for 25 years, he locked them. He locked them. And it's a brilliant strategy. If it's not what he did, it's a brilliant strategy. Because I cannot blame the prime minister for his success. I can't blame the prime minister for if he see ways that the people not standing up to defend and to do what is right for country, and he see a loophole and you want to take it. That's he and his God. But the people that could have really caused an impact in what you ask me, they were silent because of greed. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then we come with them others that would get a little, come to the financial center, get a little money. The analysts didn't even know that. If you come and you go buy money, man, give you $400, you give $300, you will like it. I told you that before in a one time when I was in your forum, when I was on your program. If I go to the say, let's use the Reserve or St. Joseph or anywhere, and I go into a shop, and then I come down from the States right now, and I come and say I have $1,000 in my pocket. No one know me in the Carib Reserve or any other reserve or whatever. I don't want to just say the Carib Reserve to think I'm just using them as a weak point, you know. And then I go to
we refer to them as the Kalinagos now.
Okay, the Kalinago, yeah, but we Carib Indians, you know.
Yeah.
Carib Indians. Anyway, so if I go to that one particular famous shop where they sell alcohol, everybody drinking $1, nani or whatever it have. But I come there, I come with a nice Sky Park, and I look at them drink and look at who's the leader in that 5 persons that drinking, the one that talking the most, that more people listening to. And I come and say, everybody take a drink. $1 is the drink. But I see something I want in the reserve or anywhere. And I see that is the group of people I need. The one that is the leader, I tell him, take a Guinness. His drink is $5 all of a sudden from $1. You think that guy gonna hit me? Next time I come, the guy gonna say I'm his best friend. Because he think I give all the others to drink the $1, and the one I think is the leader, I give him a drink for $5. Right away, I bribe him by just $4 more. So he think when I give him $4 more, next time he could get $8. Because the man integrity, that's what the man deal with. That's how the man is. That's what happening back home. We create an avenue where greed 20 years ago took over because all young businessmen, and I don't want to call some business places, they saw the decline, but they realized if they have to play nice with the leader, they will keep afloat because they didn't want them to drop down to the level of the low class man. That's why a lot of all you hear about all certain companies and certain individuals that have business and stuff is so attached to that particular kind of governance because they want to keep afloat. And they knew if they did not, they would fail. Look at what happened to Brisbane. Brisbane stood and decided, you know what, I'm going to speak. Where is Brisbane right now? You understand? Look at small business. Small businesses failed. There's no more small business, local small businessmen. You know how many under 25 years ago, how many young natives from Dominica that had business? We had more small business, more young black, more Dominicans have business than any other place. That's small persons, small business than a lot of other islands. We don't have that no more. I was in business. I could even supply sometime. But it lost because and greed take a major role in our politics. And we let one man and a few, he's brilliant. I mean, these people, I would have a better relationship with anybody on the Labour Party side because they're smart. They're people. The older men like Mr. Green, Mr. What was his Edison, they're more senior citizens. They were more, you know. But these guys were a younger set of guys. They came into power, put their tie and stuff, and everybody go with the flow. I tell you, if this guy had only do the right thing, if you see Skerritt, and I think Skerritt regretting, you know, he holding on there because he have to, but I think he regretting. If Skerritt had only do the right thing, Skerritt wouldn't even have to call election because Skerritt missed. I want to think the Prime Minister. I don't want to call him Skerritt. I want to respect his name. The Prime Minister, if he had only do the best thing, even if 15 years ago, I give him the first 10. If you had even agreed, you know, I have enough, I do this, let me put more of the resources into my country. Let me create a good venue. Let me look at the healthcare. Let me put so much millions into the, you know, into schooling. Let me put into education. Let me put into housing. If you are just doing the right way, but you know what happened? That's how I look at it. I'm subjected to correction. I believe after the Prime Minister gets so much of his own way, we give him so much Fred. Like, you know, when you hold a big fish, you don't let it go. We gave the Prime Minister so much Fred, so much line, that he no longer wanted to be friends to the local rich man in Dominica. They were too small for him. That's how I look at it. And I'm just opening my opinion as a man who loves Dominica. And I love the Prime Minister. I love you, Loftus. I love everybody because we're all at one. But I'm saying wrong is wrong. Right now, the Prime Minister, I looked at it that way. His friends, I will call them the Nasif and the Astafans and stuff, were no longer to his level. They were what he did because they were above his level. When he surpassed their level, he had to get foreign influence because he wanted to roll in that certain standard. And that's how I look at it. I could be wrong. So I think instead he stay home when he accommodates his wealth and his whatever, it's alleged that he's did this and that. When he reached that personal milestone where he wanted to achieve that, the people back home, whether they were the rich one or the mulattoes or whatever we call them, was no longer to his level. So that's why we end up having our monies outside. Because people saw an avenue where they could capitalize and make more money with our own money, while we as a nation is poor. Can you imagine a man say, remember a man said that they owed him $10 million? $33 million in less than a year? You know what it is for a foreigner to say they get $10 million in a year? They owe him $10 million in a year from passport sales of our own money, and one person cannot get their gratuity or their thing back home that is just maybe $50,000. I mean, we have to look at it. We gave him too much power. We as a people, we gave him too much power. Same thing we talk about Trump. If certain things continue to decline, I personally believe people will decide they have to take stuff, try to see how they can change stuff. Because the American people give you a mandate, but if they realize no more money in their pocket, food is going too high, and it's just talk, you will hear maybe people will decide they can't take it no more, like how the Guadalupans stand up for their rights. Nothing wrong in standing up for your rights, because you are getting so rich while I'm declining. When I was richer than you know, I'm right down to the bottom. There is not any business back home that can honestly say that they are making the profit they're supposed to do. They're supposed to be doing at that time after 25 years. None. Not the Astafans, not the Nasif, because the economy was great. The better the economy is, the better for the businessman. The better it is for the businessman is the better for the government, because the businessman have to pay more taxes. And it's better for the populace because the money will circulate more and it will go in your hand faster. So you don't mind spending. The more you spend, as long as you're making money, you will spend. Dominica have a failed economy, and I knew it. Why? That's why I had to leave and try to do something where at least I wish I was home, because I do miss my home. But I have to try something because I couldn't survive in Dominica. Long talk, man. Sorry, man.
Charo, you trust me, my brother. No, thank you. I know when you start, you're on a roll, and knowing the passion that you have for your country, my brother, I know you can continue on and on. But you basically stopped right on the money in terms of the mark, 7 o'clock mark. Let's take that midway break. You put a lot of food on the table, a lot to digest, and when we come back, we're gonna sort of dissect some of what you said. The first question I want to ask you, Charo, after the break, I suspect, tell me if I'm wrong, you had a special affinity, some sort of friendship with Dr. Well, not Doctor, what's his? Well, Doctor in his own right, Julius Timothy, right?
Well, I knew Timothy. I had a business and he would pass around. Timothy is the kind of person that's really, down to earth person. Okay. Man. He laugh.
Yeah, the question I want to ask you, do you have an insight as to just why this brother went across, Julius Timothy in particular, moved across to Labour Party? Think about it after the break.
I'll give you the reason why I believe he did. I will.
Think about it after the break.
Yeah.
Yes. This is Third World people. Third World singing this one called Revolutionary People.
People with revolutionary minds, putting everything on the line. Revolutionary people.
We're having this very interesting conversation with our brother Jefferson Winston, better known as Charo, speaking his mind about his country, Dominica, 25 years after.
I done set I free. Who made you judge? Who gave you the
Folks, the number to call into the program, just in case you want to chime in, it is 245-2396. Yes? The next number, the 615, is out of commission for now.
My heart cries out for
so yes, 245-2396. That is the number you can get into the conversation here.
Tell them we just won't bend. Call your king's masters and all your king's friends. Call the whole of them. Yeah, just get high. Everybody knows I'm one of those. Yeah, revolutionary people with revolutionary minds, putting everything on the line.
Are you one of those revolutionary people?
Every time, but we're doing just fine.
With revolution on your mind?
Like they do, not everything you hear is true. They wanna spin and flip us around, trying to play us the fools. But we stand up for the right thing, keep our faith and hope. Scared tactics not frightening, that's just not the way it goes, yeah. Just get high, everybody knows I'm one of those, yeah. Revolutionary people.
Are you one of those?
With revolutionary minds, putting everything on the line.
Are you one of those revolutionary people putting everything or prepared to put everything on the line?
Every time, but we're doing just fine.
It's all part of empowering the people to take positive action for country. To all the conscious brothers and sisters out there, good evening to you.
Every kind of all your slogans, no matter with your guns and bribes. We're in a different kind of program, fighting on the militant side. And all we stand on is the truth. And we got to defend it for our youth. Yeah. Just get high, everybody knows we're one of those revolutionary people.
Again, the question that I ask, are you one of those?
Every mind's putting everything on the line.
The group food will call them revolutionary people.
Every people. It's crucial every time, but we're doing just fine.
All those tuning at this time, special good evening to you. Those of you in the region and further afield.
Minds putting everything on the line. Revolutionary people. It's crucial every time.
Yes, folks, it is crucial each and every time. 5 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. If you're tuning in at this time, welcome on board. We're having this special conversation with our brother Sharu, a Dominican, and he's talking about his country, our country, Dominica, 25 years after the Dominican Labour Party took the reins of power in this country. Let's get back to Mr. Sharu here. Sharu, the question posed to you earlier, do you have an insight as to why Julius Timothy crossed the floor to Labour?
Loftus, I knew Mr. Timothy as a Rosa man, and as I said, he's a people person. I think he's a good person. Everyone, everybody, not no one is perfect, but just knowing him as a young man of a small business, opposed to chilling for and had one in Greater Street. I forgot them areas. So I would, we'll speak sometimes. Now, you said if I know reason, obviously anybody could see that Shillingford was failing. It was failing after the reign of the government came into power. Labour Party came into power. They were failing. Everything was going down. Not just Shillingford. Every single business place was failing. Crazy T was failing. He spent money. Everybody was failing. If you look, you're just directly going about Mr. T. Murphy, although you said Mr. T. Murphy, but I just want to not just put him in one circle, If you look at all the businesses that were close to the Labour Party, they're still there. If you analyze it, all businesses with the influence of the Labour Party, or just say Mr. Skerry, the PM, they're still existing. And if you look at most of them including some small businesses, because they will say, oh, my PM and all of this, they're still floating, they're still there. But if you look at those that were just neutral, or those that wasn't, that was opposite to the affairs of the ills of happening, they failed, they closed. So obviously, Mr. Timothy had to join the party because he needed to get back online. Crazy T joined the party, he wanted to get back online. Who again I know? Charles Savre, Mr. Savre was the president for how many years? So what you think they're there? You think they come there because of love of country? You see, Patrick John didn't join the Labour Party. Patrick John was the first premier. Was he premier? And the prime minister of Dominica under a Labour Party mandate, isn't it? It was a Labour. He's a Labour, right? He was a Labour, right? He didn't join them. Look at how he went. Miserable. No one show remorse. No one show appreciation to Mr. John. Mr. John, I remember as a young man, little boy, most persons that have a home and some is because of the whole directives of Mr. John. You understand? He didn't settle for their stuff. Look at how he went. If he had just settled for, oh, I'm okay with that, he would be good. So why you think Julius went? You think he went because it was an easy ride in the economy? No, he's a brilliant man and he saw failure. And he realized, I cannot fail because I work too hard and I'm not going to go down. Why you think this guy, you think this guy's going to get away from Mr. Donald Trump? What is the guy with Tesla, Musk and all them guys going to get away? No. They're businessmen. You think I'm going to give $240 million in a campaign to a president that he knows he's not going to benefit as a businessman for many years? One of the world's richest men? Bro, that's an investment. So obviously, you think when Mr. Nassif went and worked for a month or whatever it was, you think his love of country, or you think he as a businessman and he see it as an investment? Businessmen see investments, bro. Businessmen look for growth. As long as your aim in your DNA is business, you want growth. You're not in business to say, I like to have a pair of pants looking at me in my shop. No, you're in business because the pair of pants in your shop need to go for it to get another one. That's why you think them guys, you think that's why them guys come, because they knew the country was running down bad. So Mr. Timothy, I think, that's my opinion, I'm subjected to correction. I'm not trying to criticize the gentleman. He's a man I had a lot of respect for. Did well. He had the economy on the UWP, okay. But obviously, the man know the numbers. The man saw the numbers declining. And even if Timothy was the leader of the UWP at the time, I still think he would have crossed if he had get the opportunity. If that should answer your question.
That is your answer. That is your answer, brother. I take your answer. I'm just, asking the question.
You see, Mr. Loftus, I'm looking at Oman from my own opinion and through what I see. I won't just go direct to answer certain things because at the end of the day,
I understand. And I am asking certain questions, for a reason. You choose to answer, you choose not to answer, it's up to you. But we're having this cordial conversation because there are certain things.
Without tripping you, yes. Without tripping you, hold your train of thought. Without tripping you, I did answer your question. If you understand, if you do, if not, I can go into more detail.
No. You answer the question and I accept your answer. I accept your answer. I accept your answer. But what I'm saying to you is that there are certain things that you mentioned before in the program tonight that happened and maybe still happening in Dominica today. That when we analyze these issues that are affecting us negatively, there are certain things that are left out of the loop, either conveniently or inadvertently, I am saying. And that is why the Dominican dream that we hedge the conversation around tonight cannot be realized, because there are certain things, Sharu, you will agree with me, you may choose to disagree with me, that have gone and have been done in Dominica that should have never been. And so we are now reaping some of the fruits of those seeds that we have sown, politically speaking. And we are in a very, very precarious position in Dominica, unless and until we come and sort of make atonement for some of our political sins, as it were. We will not be getting anywhere fast. And I know I may be sounding very, very, hypothetical here, but it is what it is. And sometimes people in Dominica, they like to deal with the problems on a very surface level. But Sharo, there are very deep stuff that went on in Dominica and continue to go on today as we speak. And so some of the remedies that we're applying cannot work.
No, because
you cannot put a plaster over a cancer and expect that cancer to heal. It just cannot. That is a medical madness. And so I think some kind of surgical, some precise surgery need to go on in real situations in Dominica so that we could understand why we are where we are, and so we could now start to apply the proper medication moving forward. That is just my whole insight as to where we are as a people. Because Dominica's predicament, Sharo, it is not just as surface as some of us want it to be.
Do you
Scared is a problem in Dominica, has been a problem. But I can tell you, the problem goes much deeper than Roosevelt Scared. My take.
You remember is Gaddafi? You remember Gaddafi? That had all that money and
Libyan leader, yes.
Yeah, and then how long did he stay in that regime? He was there for a long time, you know. And you know, it was his own people that got him and pulled him out and had him dealt with him. You know that? His people. You know, but that is the same people who left him for many years doing the same thing he was doing. It just reached a point where they just couldn't take more. Does that make sense to you?
Sure.
Okay. We cannot blame the Prime Minister or Skerrit. I want to say the Prime Minister. Because if we give him enough to do what he's doing, right now he have reached to a point, whether you go deeper than him, because if he was the obstacle in the way, he should have been dealt with. The people should have decided, Mr. PM or Mr. Roosevelt Skerrit, we need answers. We need you to come straight with us. Let us know. So if the pressure was on him, he then would have to turn to what that is deeper. So if the deeper is 6 feet deep or 10,000 feet deep, he's going to have to go get a line and pull it up because people are demanding answers because he knows he's under pressure. These gentlemen have never been under pressure by a population, by the majority of electoral voters. He have never been. You see, he have been under pressure with the few opposition leaders, persons who are asking questions, Mr. Lennox Linton. We've got others.
No. Why? Why do you think so? He has not been under that pressure to buckle. Just why?
Because I told you about greed, and I told you about the people who could have caused that was silent, like Charles Savre, Crazy, even Julius. These people that could have caused persons to, you see, okay, let's use Charles Savre. When Charles Savre, let me tell you, Patrick John was a powerful man, bro. When he was in power, if you look at politics back then, Patrick John was loved by the people. But that the same Patrick John that went to jail and was stoned. You see, because Charles Savre could come out and express and show leadership where he could group, and that time the union was strong. So he could come and he could express and say stuff. And when he said, I know we're going by Joshua Karam tonight, people would say, whoo, do we have that kind of energy? You see, so these people that could have caused that, this leader not stupid. He silenced them by giving them good position and giving them the assistance or whatever jobs that would have them there. These are the people in Roseau. Everything started in Roseau. Look at West.
So, Saru, don't you think in Dominica today there are more Charles Savres out there?
There might be people who could. Charles Savre was brave. You see, I'm not that old, but I'm not that young. You know, in listening to things in my country, Charles Savre was a brave man. You see, we have people out there, but they're not brave. You see, they talk, but when come for action, that's why sometimes some callers call for leaders like you know on the ground. But listen, they're not brave. You see, with everything, we have a more disciplined approach. You cannot have a disciplined approach for fire when fire is burning and it's coming closer to you. You have to have an approach where you can get fire out. So if you have fire and you come like you, Mr. Discipline, bro, people don't want to hear so much discipline. There are times you have to show that you stand for your rights as an opposition. There are times you have to show that, listen, I'm talking all the time on the radio. I call for a few people, okay, stand out there, but 10 people can stand up and show that we want change. You see, that is what I have to do. Charles Savre was like that. You see, Crazy T alone would block a road. Crazy T already come out of his transporting roads and put his vehicle there. The police come and he stand up there and wait. Because he was bold. He had a determination to, if he say he want to do that. So we haven't had that. Yes, we have people with great statesmanship that, talk properly, which are good leaders, which can maybe come to the books and create other stuff to make economic growth and stuff. Yeah, but when it comes to that approach, that lion, that kind of lion, you had that in Charles Savre.
So so the question still remains on the table. Do you think that we have more or any Charles Savre-like figures today in Dominica?
We do, but they are locked.
They're locked.
And if you know why they lock because of the small stipend, whatever they get, the small
stipend,
handouts and liquor stuff. Because if you look well, it's a group of persons. People know it bad, and the group of people who utter their utterances are, this. In their heart, they know it bad. Because in closed doors, they will talk the truth. And I'd rather speak the truth to Mr. Skerritt or anyone. I think Skerritt is a cool guy, but it's just that we gave him an opportunity for him to do what he wants to do as a leader, and he capitalized on it. And it's difficult. If I come and I put a big truck on the center of on the bridge in Roseau, you understand? And I leave and I go, and you all have nothing. We might have to wait a whole month to get that truck moved because I have the keys and I move back to the States, and we have got nothing there to lift up that $30,000 or $50,000 ton truck. 50,000 pounds. What are we gonna do? You're gonna have to wait till it might take one day, but this truck might maybe take a month. So you give me a whole month to do what I have to do. If you understand that, does that make sense? You check, if I block a road and I leave and go, that same road could have unblocked 2 hours ago. But because I left and only let me escape and go back to the States with that big truck in the road, it will take only a month to get me. So I move further every time. That's the basic what happened.
Yeah.
There's not persons that is without tripping you. They're not persons that have that urge, that I would say that it's a strength, it's a determination, bravery, So we have to call for our ancestors to bring some bravery into some persons that want to be in leadership. Because look at Guadeloupe. Without tripping, one thing, Mr. Look at Guadeloupe. If Guadeloupe have a strike, you think you are man enough to go and say you're going to pay a bill? Or you're going to be different? You better start your home. As far as I understood. You all will have a demonstration and people passing all around. And for they themselves, we're trying to make it better. So what is that? I say it's a curse. I say Dominica under a spell. Because the Dominican, I remember a young man working on a thing of Valentine. There was people who had to put up license. Freedom Party was putting up license on Freedom of Workers on bus transportation. And they stop it. So where's the kind of people we have like that no more? There's not there. They're quiet, bro. I hope I answer your question, bro, because
Brother Sharo, so far so good. You're basically saying everything that I said before, and we are coming now to having some common understanding. You are burning the stick from one end and burning it from the other end, and I'm saying to you, in agreement with you, that why we are where we are in Dominica, it is primarily because of some deep-rooted stuff that has not been properly
but
we have not done that sort of exploration in terms of digging deep, finding the cause of where we are, why we are, and applying the proper medication in moving forward. And so as a result of that, we are sort of spinning in mud. I am convinced, my brother, presently in Dominica, there are many more people who can be much more effective than Charles Savre. I'm 100%.
But Mr. Have they come out?
But again, it is that deep-rooted thing that we have not basically understood as yet. Some people in Dominica are very, very hypocritical. some people, they know the truth, but they will conveniently hide the truth, conceal the truth. And as a result, Charo, trust me, my brother, I'm on the ground. And I have a good sense of what is happening on the ground. And so as a result of that, we will be trying things, doing things, but unless and until, as I said before, we have not come to the realization of certain things that have been done. If you go back biblical days, I like to use that book as a reference. There was this brother called, what's his name now? Ahab. Ahab was given specific instructions when he went to war, and he was told he should not touch, meaning do not take, do not steal anything from that war. All the spoils were supposed to, whatever he had to do with it. And he did directly opposite to the instructions given. And so when the how you call it, the consequences came to Ahab's house, Ahab knew why the consequences was upon his household, and he withheld speaking the truth to his household. And if memory serves me right, his entire household and himself, they were consumed. Because why? He did not speak the truth so that his house, even if he would perish, but at least his people in his household would have been saved. And I am saying, my brother, Dominica is at this stage. We have had a lot of things done in this country, and people who are or were part of it, these people bury their consciences, and they know why we are where we are. And so the few of us who are on the front line trying to fight this demon, as it were, the holy water is hidden somewhere. I rest.
Well, if that's, I mean, you're on the ground and but I'm saying that after 25 years, if after the first 10 years, I find it was right now 25 years, it is even greater where it was. So I hope that we know, we can at least see a country where change or we can see better development for us as a people. Because I'm telling you, unless we don't get persons that are determined to stand for righteousness, determined to stand for true values, determined to stand with you see, you can fight a battle, but you are right when you fight in that war, You can fight a battle knowing that the legislation in place to protect you as an individual to stand for your right is there, You there, Mr. Loftus? You there?
Yes, I'm there with you. I'm there with you.
You see, even if you can stand firm, you see, but again, you see, we're scared. We are scared as a people because of any strategies again. Look at what they did to Mr. We all know that Thompson didn't do anything about that incident with truck and stuff. We all know these guys are just political, victimized. But again, where are the support? You see, we all go to the courts and not even these guys are standing for a better Dominica. Tell me how many persons that really go to the courts when Thompson go to the courts. Tell me how many people that go there when the other persons that stand for country goes to the court when they know they are really victimized by the system. Look at we had an individual that had a mandate on the United Workers Party thing, said that Skerrit must go. He went and he jumped across. What happened? No one ever said, I want my vote back. No one ever said, hey, I need my vote back. No one ever come together. He just jumped and everybody accepted. So I don't know where the other child servers are. I understand what you say because you're on the ground and I'm taking your word for it. And I hope there are many other child servers that can come up and then we can have a Dominica where politicians have to understand they have a mandate and they have to respect the people. If a people is asking, look at electoral reform. Electoral reform should be something given to the people without any question. This is simple A, B, C, and 1, 2, 3. Why does it have to go where one man gets over almost $250,000, and another one from Barbados get money, and it's dragging. When it's for your people, it's like a headmaster have the school and he have books for the children to write. He also does give the kids the books to write. That's what electoral reform should be. It going like a big debate and complications. I heard my prime minister saying this, that one saying that. And where's the people? You see, don't take me wrong, Mr. Loftus. You think on the Charles Freedom Party time and Labour Party and Charles Savarin would come and say electoral reform, you think it wouldn't have a crew? It would have. And again, it had a stronger union. You know, but the people are led by, and again, I will tell it to you, Mr. Loftus, the generation, 25 years of that regime, and 25 years was still a young man. These people are 50 years, and those that was born is 26, and those that was born 25 years ago are 25. So that whole populace, that whole group of people are not into politics where it comes for giving a mandate to better my lives. They are just there for the CEO, the party, the hands out, go home, tomorrow they'll be fine. But there was a certain set of people in the 70s, 80s, 90s that was all about, I want my share. I want a home like yours. I want to have a nice car. I want to work to achieve that. Look at how it was in the Village Feast. Economic growth. On the UWP, the Village Feast was like a carnival. You understand? The Bayfront was full of persons with money in their hand. They had to look for things to do. There were people coming with their little cars, opening their booth, selling drinks. Fellas used to take a little laptop, go in your mother yard and order a car for you. You understand? The cars were called Sketel. So much things was happening. That was economic growth. That's what we need. We need growth. And when these local persons and the people are making money because they're seeing success, they come to the stores. The Astor fans will make more money. The radio station will make more money.
Sharo, just a question to you, sir. All the things that you're pointing out there, where give me an idea of a year, where did those things started in terms of the woes of Dominica?
Wait, when you mean
based on your
started with the growth?
When those woes, the greed, the selfishness, the non-productiveness, when in your mind do you think that the seed was planted? So we are now reaping the rewards thereof. When?
I would give it 15 years ago.
15.
I would say the first, because I remember when I was managing Midnight Groovers for a bit and I had to go to Miami, and I remember the Labour Party had a stuff and I wanted to see the Prime Minister because I remember I wanted to create the Small Business Association, and I wrote a letter to the Prime Minister as Mr. Roosevelt Skerritt, but I gave it to Sean Douglas. But I don't think Sean Douglas, anyway, whatever. Now, I remember that Prime Minister, when he had the first mandate, when he was going for the second, I remember this gentleman's eyes, I think it was up in the reserve area somewhere, fell into my eyes because I was just about there for the night, the same one I was going to go to Miami to shop. And I remember he said, these small business people, we're going to work with you. We're going to do this. I looked at him on the platform. I said, okay, partner. Okay, that is just gimmick. You understand? Because if I wrote you almost 2 years ago, you never replied. And you saying that when I was told to come with 4 different business sectors and personnel, which I did. And when I come, it was like a waste of time. I had to leave and go. That means you're just talking. We are the ones, when it started, when it started from the start. Because I believe the Prime Minister, certain persons influenced him to take that direction. And I think he capitalized on it greater. I don't think he really started on his own. But I believe the group, the people, since they moved from Taiwan and that secret meeting to go to from Taiwan to move to China, one, that was a no-no. You have to respect protocol. That was a no-no. You have to go according to protocol, especially when come for the government and the thing for the land. You understand? So all that thing happened because of past money was coming in, so people get greedy. So I would say 15 years ago.
15.
The first first 10 would be, I would say, it was in the pipeline, things was happening, but it wasn't severe. It wasn't so great like the 15 years after. So the first 10 years it was happening, But you see, again, that's where I go to what I said to you. We gave them so much. Fred, if when we had realized it and we had taken on the streets, so we demand answers and people come together and listen, my life is worse now than 5 years ago or 10 years ago. And we decide we need to know what's going on. Look, you building this. Look, that one have a fancy car. Look, that guy had an old truck. Right now, you have a big truck and you break it and you have another truck. Where is mine? I haven't got mine. My tire burst. My engine cannot fix. I need to know what's going on. And people decide to come together to ask questions. I think we would have stopped it a long time. If that makes sense in a bouillon style.
Yeah. So having said that, I am in the opinion now that you're in agreement with the statement that says, united we stand, divided we fall, right?
Of course.
Yeah, good. Now as a follow-up to that now is, why do you think that we are so divided as a people? Because to me, if we were united, as you clearly said, you're in agreement in that statement. If we were united as a people, certain things that we have been speaking about would have been a no-no. So it clearly speaks to the fact that there's a level of divisiveness that permeates among us as a people, especially those of us who are opposed to what is happening in governance of this country. We have not been united enough. Why do you think that the divisiveness attitude still, permeates among us? Why? Just why?
Loftus, I told you that the seniors were more getting, they would work to achieve and to be successful. Sorry, that's what people in the 80s, 90s. The generation under that regime is thank you for one, but I will need 10 more, so I'll come back 2 weeks ago to get another one, and I will need 10 more all the time, if that makes sense to you. They're not getting nowhere, but they're satisfied with just one, when they need 10 to move forward, okay? That's where everything starts, is greed. When a man come with good political ideas and show you a vision where you can grow your country, but a man is saying to you, you have money to give me? That man don't worry about your vision where you can make him make money. He wants you to come to him and give him $1. Does that make sense to you? If I come to your program and you're teaching me something, but I'm on your program for $5, but you're teaching me where I can go learn and go on my own, and then I can make more. But I decide I don't want that. I want the $5. You think I'm going to be, it's going to cause division. It doesn't make sense to you? It's because they settle for less. So wherever the less is going, that's where they are. And those now that really want a better, in minority, is look like the enemy, and that's where you get in the division. Does that make sense to you? Haven't you seen that back home? Does that answer your question?
So
psychology. The man is a brilliant, the Prime Minister, Mr. Skerritt, is brilliant. We cannot take that out of the man. The man has analyzed and scrutinized the system, the populace, the people. He is brilliant. We can't take that from him. What we have to get is to be as brilliant as him and better than him. You think is Dr. Fontaine back home permanently? I guess he's back home permanently. Where's the case now? I thought that case would be dismissed. No, he's back on the ground. So they put him up in is he in high court now? Come on. You think the system, the judges and the is not involved with the politicians? But what are we doing? What are we doing? We're not doing nothing. We will have division. Unless Dominicans stop settling for less and see their true values and the life and look for the future for themselves and the children and say, I want a 4-bedroom house too. If you have a 10-bedroom, okay, but I want a 4-bedroom too. Do not give me that one little thing and tell me it's mine. Unless we stop that, we will still have division. Everybody has to be on one common goal. To not have division, we all have to say we want to pick that apple on that tree. If 5 telling me do not pick the apple and the other 10 telling me to pick the apple, we have division. But if everybody come together and we multiply, we cannot have division. You know what the opposite of division is? Multiplication. We are not multiplying as a people because of our selfish personal greed. A man wants $100. He don't mind in 5 years he make a government someone in the ministry or minister give him $1,000 in 5 years, and he say that is his best friend. When the minister make $350,000 in the same 5 years you give him a mandate. We're not multiplying as a people. So as long as you cannot multiply, multiplying is growth. So if you don't have growth, you'll have division. And we have division not just in people, we have division in the economy, we have division in the agriculture industry, we have division in tourism, we have division in hospitality. We are not multiplying. So everything in Dominica is divided. So not just the people, our policies are divided. Have you ever seen in 25 years any multiplication where you see value? Multiplying brings value. Nothing back home have value. So we are the opposite of multiplication.
So now what would you suggest, Sharo, in terms of stemming the tide where that division is concerned?
We need people that have to understand you have to be brave. Bravery is what? I always call it our foreparents, the Maroons. Mm-hmm. We need people to have that kind of energy. We don't have to be scared. If you're standing for country and you know you're within your rights, you are within your rights no matter what. We have to understand there are outside agencies that look into human rights, look into abuse. We have to get more involved with these agencies and let them know our cry as a people, otherwise we're going to be like Haiti. We have to get more involved with international communities, international organizations. We need to do more research on what direction we can lead and where we can get help so that when we stand firm, whether it's 10 or 100, whether it's 100 or 1,000. By that time, we'll be multiplying. We will not be divided. When people believe they have strength behind them, how many people in the opposition and that are opposite that can afford a brilliant lawyer from Trinidad? You know what I'm saying? When one government have lawyers from Trinidad, they have fellows from Dubai, they have all kind of things. Who are we as a people to say we can stand and multiply? No, we are dividing. Look at the truckers. Look at the industries that are taking place. Look at the investment. That is the only country that are building the most hotels, and one room haven't opened in 25 years. And we've seen it, and we just there talking about it. And those that really want to come forward, they are bring in front of the courts. And we over there in the diaspora, we say, oh, we'll send a thing, we'll send this, we'll do this, and we'll call and give all kind of ideas. We're not on the ground. So the most we can do out there in the diaspora is try to come, organize an organization, create an organization, or a group of people that can look within our reign and our where we could reach to reach out to organizations that can protect we as a people for the rights of humanity. You see, if you don't have strength, if you don't have a team, you're weak. So what we have to do now, because of the way the system is back home, because we are under a lot of political victimization, those that are speaking and those that are really bringing a strength to people, because UWP is a strong party. Because we could see all the elections and stuff. That if UWP wasn't powerful, there would never be any reason to go out there and get voters. So if UWP have to analyze their potential, and instead of just come every time and talk this and that, is the same thing like forum like the other day, Mr. That won't have another forum. And look, they had a forum in thing about electoral reform with Mr. Mackenzie. Which I mean, he tried in his school. But where is it? After every little forum is back to silence. Have you, that I had called and said, I sent a text and said, in all your forums, sir, can you please give me one that have been successful? Nothing have been successful in Dominica. Whether it's you call for people, Matt call, or this one call. There is still love in country. Because if we have an emergency and we need to pledge some money, we get it. But why can't we pledge to our own success and decided that let's see where we can get organizations. Let's see where we can get the American state, or if that is one of them, that can drive in inputs and understand our cry and realize that we are going in a full dictatorship regime. That's it, bro. It's true. And I cannot blame the prime minister because he's brilliant. If you give me Fred, bro, I will take Fred. You know, it's not against him. He might think what he's doing is the right way because it benefits him and maybe others. But it might not, it's not benefiting the populace, it's not benefiting the country. Look at, before we go further, look at our industries. We go into Dubai. That is the prime minister that know the world. The Chinese can take it from the, how you call them, those Chinese, the Carib Indians, those baskets and all them stuff. Can you imagine how many containers that could have shipped back many years ago to China? And brand that brand from the Caribs, them baskets, them mats, all them stuff that could have go back to China in them empty containers. Because this man have good relationship with China. Why don't they look for a niche market for that? You know how many foods, especially we're talking about organic and all kind of ways to treat diabetes, high blood pressure, different diseases that is just on the plant. You know how many things we could export, dry goods? You know what I've saw a time in a dollar store? The little stones, the pebbles on our shores was bagged and sold for $3.99. This man have traveled the whole world. And on one time have you ever heard them talk about international market for agriculture or for dry goods? And that's why we have to talk about the economy. There's no growth in the economy. And yes, we get the passport sales. And instead the passport sales would have gone into would be invested into avenues for growth for the local man. I don't care if he take what he take, but let me see what happened and we see growth so we can say, yes, thank God, nothing happening. And when you talk, people say you're a victim, they criticize, they try to crucify you, they try to say, so it's truth to power. I love my prime minister. I wish I could say, I had his picture in my shop. I would go to shop, I would say we have the youngest prime minister in the world. His name is Roosevelt Carey. I was boasting that man. I will tell you honestly, when Ian Peanut was going up in Point Michel, I gave him some nice shirts. I had International Network on it, and they print Labour Party International Network, some nice quality jerseys. That's how much confidence I had in the young man and his people. But not because I like him as an individual and he's doing wrong, I'm going to say, idea for you. I listening to certain persons talking, and they're even making him look bad while they're trying to support him because they know it don't make sense. So we have to, it's just a lot, my brother. I must have go out of tangent, but it's okay. Let's go.
It's all right. It's all right, my brother. We're Q2. I know there much more you can see. We have to take some of the comments on the live feed. Some of the people there, they are commenting as well. But just one last question to you, sir, before we wind down things in just a bit and take some comments. Sharu, do you think that that dream, the Dominican dream, especially where the young people are concerned, do you think that that dream still exists? Do you think that dream is still achievable?
Nothing is impossible when you want to achieve. As long as you determine and you work, you will achieve. So achievement is something that's a broad scale. Mm-hmm. It's all come to determination. So we can always achieve whatever we make our minds to, because God gave us that inner being power so that we can reach out to ourselves. It's like you see right now, if I have to take my hand to reach out for my phone, I'm achieving. I go in for my phone. So we can reach out to get what we have to be done. The dream, you're talking about, I have a dream like let me tell you that dream. That dream is a pretty picture painted as the reality. And the reality is dead as a picture. Do you understand that? Does it make sense to you, Mr. Duran?
Yeah, sure.
That dream is a pretty picture painted like the reality. So that dream is like, we will look at something advertised in Dominica, talking about how many hospitals, international. That is a pretty picture that looks like a reality. But the reality is a picture that is dead. So the reality, they don't talk about it. We talk about a picture that's not we create something and we do it like it's a reality. It doesn't make sense to you? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, we do not have a dream back home right now. It was always a challenge, especially as a poor person. You have to be very strong and very determined to achieve back home. It have always been a challenge. It was never bed of roses, especially when you come from a family that was not low middle class or really poor. It was never an avenue in Dominica. Dominica, I always say, had the worst set of slaves. Our slaves were the one that would worship the white man, and we believe everything foreign is good. Because I remember a time, I think I was on Matter or some other program, I said that if I as a Dominican come and say the Rosa River is running fresh water, Dominicans will not take me on. But if a foreigner come and say the Rosa River has a lot of gold, Dominicans will rush to the river because it's a foreigner, a white man, and take the same water and say it's gold they have. If you understand that kind of thing I'm saying.
Yeah.
No, it's always been a challenge for a young individual, especially someone, even with the financial institutions, to achieve. You have to juggle how much stuff, and by that time you're getting so much juggling and so much this and that, you're getting on the more expense and more stuff where you could have just get things to rise. So, but especially now with all what I'm hearing back home, there's not a dream in Dominica to the population. There might be a dream to some individuals because of their political connections, I should use. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So there's not a dream right now. For us to get a dream for the young generation to understand, we have to start to work with those that know that kind of politics. We have to try to educate them. We have to let them understand that even if they speak, there is organizations out there that can protect them. And when these people start to understand the value of living and the value of work to success and the value of achieving than rather settling for less, then we can just say there is a dream that Dominica can go somewhere in the future for the young generation and the people. Does it answer your question, Mr. Duran?
Yeah, indeed. We are 10 minutes to the over the clock. Let's move to the live feed to take some comments there. You answer, you respond if needs be, and then we bring it to a wrap in just a while. Yeah, Sharo?
Yeah, man. Yes, yeah.
Brother Bernard Aline writes here, my brother, how do you refer to a man as brilliant when the results of his policy enrich him and those that are, wait, let me check that again. My brother, how do you refer to a man as brilliant when the results of his policy enrich him and that those at the two who remain loyal to him while the general population is suffering in an economy that has been failing? He basically ends the question by saying, come on, my brother, brilliance cannot be mentioned when the dominant feature is greed. Your response, sir?
Well, you see, a rich man can have money. Or you say a fool can have money. I was saying a fool could have money and a poor man could spend it or something like that.
Say a fool can make money, but it takes a rich man to spend it.
Spend it or something like that.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, we can use brilliant in many ways. We can also use brilliant in a negative approach. If you doesn't make sense to you, I could say like, because of his strategy, because we gave this gentleman so much opportunity to do what he have to do, he uses brilliance, his intelligence, his to capitalize on what we cause. We have our own downfall because of what we created. And he saw the opportunity, so he was brilliant. He was intelligent enough to capitalize on it.
So he's brilliant. He's brilliant to suit his
own personal needs, his own needs,
and not the people's interests. Okay, so if it's that is the way you're using brilliance, then that's fine. Yeah, Ferdinand Lawrence right there. Ferdinand says here the Chinese relationship is not interested in the development of Dominica and its people. This brother here, Selassie Kenrick, says here, I think Mr. No Skerrat might listen to his program, so he keeps calling Skerrat brilliant in hopes of getting the last portion. Well, that person is basically suggesting that you need a cool out from Skerrit, and so you're calling Skerrit brilliant.
If I wanted to, I may tell you something, Loftus. If I wanted to a cool out from Skerrit, especially me as a Rosa man, I would have. I want nothing from Skerrit. All I want Skerrit to do, I don't care what Skerrit have, what it take. I want Skerrit to do is free my people. Let us see a Dominica where we can come back and enjoy ourselves. At my age right now, I'm not looking for no handout. All I'm looking for is to have a good life, good strength, and God bless me. Things have to be, everything is a challenge, but I don't looking for handout. I never got a handout from one single person, even my mother and my father. So I don't know what that person talking about. Let me tell you something. You read something before that. I'm not going to answer ignorance because
Ferdinand Lawrence wrote about the Chinese and Dominica's development.
What did he say? He said that.
Do you think that China is very interested in developing or development of Dominica?
Okay. It's not China. You see, again, China is it's brilliant. They're brilliant. They're brilliant. They're smart. They're intelligent. Because if you have a government that did not put policies in place to protect you as a people, why should they develop you?
Mm-hmm.
You see, if you come look, are they developing other areas where the natives benefit? Tell me, how are we benefiting from the Chinese as a people? We're not benefiting because the government didn't put policies in place to protect us as a people. Mm-hmm. So why should I want to give you a bridge across Scotland to Martinique when you don't care about it? It's the policies you put in place to protect your land. So it's not the Chinese to blame. The Chinese get an easy ride, they take it. Again, they're brilliant, they take it.
True. Shanna George writes here, most of the young people don't worry with anything. Is just get a cool out and see who.
They settle for less. That's the same thing as settling for less. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you, yeah.
Dorival Drygo writes, he manipulated the people's trust to his selfish gains.
You see, again, that's what I'm saying. He did. So right now, he's intelligent. He take advantage of us. If we as a people that stand up from day one, as I said to you previously, that we demand enough is enough, you need to answer us, we're going to take on the street. He don't have. Scarrett can do anything. And in most persons that will talk is the same set of people that go all the time. So why should he care? If he know when he do something, you see 5, 6, 7,000 people on the streets, he's going to have to ask himself a question.
Ferdinand Lawrence, right? It's time to leave Roosevelt out of our conversations and let's move on to the solutions that will propel Dominica and Dominicans to live in hope.
You can't leave the leader or the obstacle that is causing the problem out of the equation, huh?
Yeah. I was just helping you along.
Yeah, you cannot do that. I mean, the man is the leader of the island, the head of the country. I mean, he's the cause of if it's good or if it's bad. He's the one we have to blame, especially his kind of policies. He's the minister, he's the prime minister and the minister of everything. So he's the only name we can call. You know how many times you have look at the electoral reform. We're not hearing the persons that are supposed to be directly involved. You know, it's the prime minister that take it under his own in his hands and dealing with it. So his name must be calling everything. The prime minister is involved in everything on the island. There's no ministry that is directly responsible for anything. They just come and say, want to lick utterances. But when it comes for the main issues, he take over and he put it in his own terms.
Where we are now in terms of a political, how I should call it, political diatribe in Dominica. Do you think that there's one party in opposition that could, muster whatever it is and regain power, or there has to be some shared responsibility slash power in terms of the opposition forces?
You know, it's that same shared thing I hear them talking about that put us in the position where we are. Mm-hmm. You know, it's that same thing with that same Freedom Party and come together and by all means necessary took out United Workers Party. I will tell you something, yeah. Mm-hmm. I believe we just have to. I don't believe in that. I believe every party should stand firm on their own. Okay. I just believe each and every political party should have one common goal right now is to see how they can protect humanity and people's rights on the land. I don't think they have to come together. I think what we need is policies and the right connections so we can stand firm as a people. Forget the polls. Forget about coming together and win an election. What we need right now is to get is for us to give questions and get answers and to get the right to be in the right position.
All right.
If it does that make sense to you?
Yeah, thank you. Let's take a call.
We have one common goal, but when come for the polls is a different thing to me.
Lofty, can you hear me?
Let's take a call. Caller, yes, good evening. Limited time.
Yeah, good evening, Lofty. Sorry I'm calling so late, but I just had to call in. First of all, I want to big up the brother for his efforts. I know he's someone who has come from nothing and made something of himself through his own hard work and efforts.
I appreciate.
But basically, with the topic today, my problem is this: that if someone is pretending to be doing good for you and the intentions are bad, you have to tell it like it is. The intentions are bad, and if the intentions are bad, especially when that leader has people employed to assist him in twisting policies and creating a narrative that fools the people, the masses into thinking that he's great. The last thing I will do is to call him brilliant, because if I do that, I am effectively, despite my own intentions might not be to big him up, but that's exactly
Well,
what I'm doing when I call him brilliant. I had to tell it like it
well,
is.
it,
He's an opportunist.
well,
And
it
there are
is.
many opportunists in the government that exist today, and their policies are designed in order to enrich them and to have the people subservient to them.
All
And we
right.
have to say just
Okay,
that,
let
just
me
that, brother. We have to
let me
remove
answer.
them in order for the country to go anywhere.
All right,
Okay,
caller. Thank you very much for your point. Shari, you want to
my,
respond to that in
yes,
limited
my
time before you
brilliant.
wrap?
By saying brilliant, I don't. You see, okay, maybe I should have used another word, but with me, my saying brilliant is that the man used the opportunity for his own personal benefit.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, so
That's
the
when I
call,
say
yeah, he
brilliant.
said basically you should have used the word opportunistic instead of
Well,
brilliance.
maybe, but I think he saw an opportunity
Mm-hmm.
so he could do what he wants and he take advantage of the people. You understand? So that's why I call it, maybe I might say brilliant, might sound so like such a positive way by my expressions, but my brilliancy is more of he used his strategies to his own personal gain. So he was brilliant to himself over the populace and the people.
All
So
right.
maybe I could say it could
Yeah,
be
yeah.
sounds like I giving him
Point,
a
point,
rose.
point, explain, point taken. Thank
Yeah,
you very
yeah.
much.
Mm.
But Sharo, with the limited time we have under 1 minute, let's see if you can just sort of bring home some solid points that you made, as we must bring the conversation to a wrap. Indeed, in terms of the Dominican dream, you answered it. So, but just drive home some points as we close.
About the Dominican dream?
Yes, the topic at hand.
The Dominican dream is
Whether
that
it is
we
still
have
there,
to
whether it is still achievable.
wait, nothing is impossible. We can achieve a Dominica that is a Dominica for everyone. But we as a people have to stop making people use their intelligence for their own personal gain. That way I call it brilliancy, because they use their own opportunity that given to them and was brilliant in their own way to capitalize on we as a people because they think we are foolish. So unless Dominicans decide they want more and stop settling for less, I don't think we will. When that's changed and people decide the value of living and the value to own, to gain, then we will have a dream. But for now, we need to erase that go wash Ashime lab to get that dream. The dream is at the back underneath the big stone.
All right. Well, my brother Sharu, I want to thank you very much, bro, for coming and speak
Anytime I
to
love
us
this, man.
anytime. Anything else you just want to say, ill up anybody back home and before we
I
go?
like Lennox, man. I don't want to cool out because I always say if Lennox was a cooler guy, I'd have the biggest cool out. So I cool, man. I don't want to say hi to everybody. I want my people to know that we have to work together, come together. Anything that is not a bent, that's not going to show growth to your development, you all need to take it away, because people cannot grow while you're declining and you cannot grow. You're supposed to grow together, even if they might have more, but you should see you climbing up that ladder. So one day you could reach the top of the ladder. So take out anybody that's in power that is not doing it right for you as a people. It's time for us to get people in position to make our lives better. And I don't care who it is. It could be my mother, my father, my sister, my grandmother. Anybody that is preventing you from succeeding, and they are succeeding for the family and themselves, they are not in your best interest.
My brother cannot say it any better than you. Thank you very, very much indeed. Do enjoy what is left of your night, Sharu. Thank you.
All right, my brothers.
All right, one love. Stay safe.
Yes, sir. Anytime.
He calls this one Look Good. Apple. That's our final selection as we leave you from the man Nasio Fontaine. Dominican gem indeed in sound.
Adam and Steve walking hand in hand. Gog and Magog sodomizing the land. So many words eating up your apple. Time is running out. Soon you'll be in trouble. Load the apple look rosy round the outside. Let you know that it's rotten on the inside. Load the apple look rosy round the outside. Let you know that it's rotten on the inside.
So Dominicans, those of you here, those of you listening in the region and the food refill, that is it for us for the program tonight.
Beauty and the Beast sitting on the throne, but the city is built upon dead man's bones. I've seen your crimes and your
Yes, that is it for the Civic Vibes program tonight. Tonight being the second night of February 2025.
the apple rosy round the outside.
So that is where I want to pull down the curtains on things here,
Inside.
as I want to bid you guys, whatever it is left of your night, a special one indeed.
Rotten on the inside. Lies on the
A special thank you to Mr. Jefferson Winston as well,
of the beast. Some living in the lies of
better known as Sharu,
the
speaking his mind as a Dominican each and every time.
apple look.
Some of you may agree, some of you may disagree. But those were his thoughts. And at the end of the day, we got to agree to disagree and move on.
Gog and Magog, drinking from the copper.
As we all want to develop this country.
Devils in disguise, should them trying to throw the apple rosy round the outside,
So as we approach a new week,
rotten on the inside.
I want to bid you guys
Rose
all the very, very best for this brand new week.
rotten on the inside.
Favors, yes, favors be upon you. Yes, you and you and you.
Cup of bread. Devils in disguise. Ooh, truth them trying to hey.
Again to the 20 who made it at the quarterfinals last night, and they're moving on to the semis. Congratulations to you guys.
Let me tell you.
Maybe next week we'll have a conversation calypso, huh?
Bum, 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 yeah.
So thank you guys for your eyes and ears each and every time. Loftus Duran signing up. Bye-bye. I love you.
Rotten apple, look good. Don't you get tempted. Oh, no, no, no. Rotten apple, look good. Beware, my friend. You're looking good from afar. Look good, but you're far from looking good. Don't get tempted, don't get tempted, don't get tempted, don't get tempted. Don't you ever take it for food. Don't get tempted, or else you'll get stampeded.